Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are showing off our under 2-minute run on this stage here. So I'm showing this off first. We're gonna get into like the team I used and whatnot after this. It was recorded on my tablet, that's why there's no in-game sound. And so I'm obviously not commentating live on this, but here's a 2-minute run. I decided to start with Ezzelith first, controlling her because she basically teleports to the enemies, and she's just very quick at dispensing with these first few waves. I actually believe I decided to use her almost the entire duration actually, just because I didn't want to switch. Even with the bonuses, the light bonuses and everything, Ezzelith still is doing a lot of damage here because she is one of my highest raised characters, and so she's just pretty decently strong in general. I did do this run like yesterday, so we'll see when I actually get to the boss here if I do switch. Let's see. So I was just using my skills. I don't think I had used many skills up until this point. I was mostly saving them for the boss to try and get him into break state. Also using the Friend skill there. He's in overdrive now. Oh. So I actually transformed into Pella and not my light dragon, but actually looking at the numbers, it was doing quite a decent amount of damage anyway. Here I do go ahead and switch to Halloween Elisan, and I'm just using my skills here. I am trying to get him into break state before doing the skills. Here you can see I do Thunder Focus to get the crit rate, and then the Mischief Maker, very powerful skill, and then I end it with the Sacred Maiden. And that almost does it. We have 5 seconds. It was a pretty close run, and we ended at 104 there. I think the fastest run that I have seen since I recorded this was 1:15, so 1 minute 45 seconds. And that was actually mostly full auto with a bit of skill usage here and there. So if you have a strong enough team, I don't think it's a super difficult thing to do. And I really did want to get this title because I didn't get the one for the last event, Loyalty's Requiem, because that required like coordination and getting a team and raising celery, which I didn't really want to raise just for that event. The Halloween Elisan, however, is a character I'm planning on using outside of this event anyway, so I was like, hell yeah, let's go ahead and raise her. And I'm not going to say if it's completely necessary or not to raise her, but I'm sure she definitely does help. You could see that I was mostly controlling that battle with Ezzelith there though. And so here we are, back into the game. We are live now, I guess, in a sense. We're gonna be checking out the event, the progress I've done on it, but first, of course, let's check out the team I used for that under 2-minute clear, and here it is. I actually gave her this Lindworm. I just got it up to 30 just because it gives a bit more stats, but because it gives 30% more strength, whereas the Jeanne d'Arc only gives HP. And since it is a time race, obviously having 30% more strength there does make a big difference. In most runs, Ezzelith and Mikoto do die when I'm controlling Elisan. Althema usually survives. It might be because Ezzelith and Mikoto are melee characters. But besides that, this was pretty much my team here. 13.6 thousand might is quite high, I would say. I did also fully unbind Plunder Pals, and because just by itself, I mean, skill damage plus 25% doesn't require full HP for that is quite good on its own. And you know, of course, Snack-O-Lantern's Trick or Treats plus 50% is quite good as well. So I'd recommend trying to fully unbind one of them and then have one for everyone else, unless you have some of these Witch's Kitchens. I prefer these right now because Trick or Treats, we still need a lot of those. But yeah, going back to the event, we can see our current progress there. So the rewards, we've gotten up to 874,000 Trick or Treats out of 1.4 million. So we are a little over half now. When you can get 10,000 points per run, it does start piling in pretty fast. After a while of running it, you know, it does get a little bit repetitive. So I was just thinking about autoing it, getting to the boss and dying every time and getting like 7,000 points. But I found that if I just give it a bit of attention, I can still beat the boss usually. So I'm just kind of like guide autoing it, and I'll like maybe do something else while that's going. So that's been much less of a bother. The boss battle and such I don't do very often, mainly for the endeavor, because I still have like 2,000 of these cookies, and each upgrade there in the castle grounds takes 6 hours now, so it's like, don't need to do that too often. So mostly been just spamming the challenge battle. We can look at treasure trade as well. I've gotten pretty much all the important things here. I could get another plunder pals, but I don't really see the point there. And besides that, we just have the orbs and the scales left. So I did get the 50 consecrated waters. You can get 25 for 1 each of these candy baskets, and then you can get 25 more, which costs 2 of each. There was only 1 twinkling sand there for the 80, and there was the gold and mana and all that other little stuff. So I probably will go ahead and get the glow scales and the orbs and everything else, because why not? What else are you gonna spend the stuff on? Maybe even get the plunder pals, because I could, I guess, grind it at the end of the event for some eld water or whatever. I'm probably going to keep the max one though, because 25 skill damage without having to be at full HP is quite good by itself. I'm probably not going to raise it to level 100 though, because again, I want to save my consecrated waters for the high mid Gasamer worm print, but I do want to check. Oh yeah, I have 231 of them now. And I think we get like 100 more right before the twinkling sand at the very end here. So tons of consecrated water in this event. Yeah, right there, damn. One more limited endeavor to do, and that's getting the sweet retreat up to level 30. That shouldn't be too hard. This event was actually a pretty short one. There's only 5 days left, and it feels like it just started. So obviously this wasn't much of a guide on how to get the 2 minutes. Basically, in my case, just have a strong team. Like I said, I'm not sure if Elisanne is totally necessary there. Of course she does help. She has a lot of power. Being a light type, being a natural 5-star, she does have almost 1400 strength with that dragon equipped. Level 80 of course, 40 mana nodes. So she's a pretty well raised character. Did get her the elemental weapon finally. Not unbound yet, but good enough, obviously. Of course, if you really just wanted to go for the title, you could switch their worm prints to something more suitable. I believe I actually did give Ultima a different one. Maybe it was how to flee properly? Yeah, because she was also kind of dying, and that helped her survive a bit. She also got some recovery in there to help her recover a bit more. For the most part, I kept the worm prints because it was like, well, I'll just keep trying, and if I don't get it, then, you know, I'll still get those 10,000 cookies, and hey, that's cool. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this little video. You know, I usually don't post on weekends, so this is just a little one. I was excited because I got the 2-minute stuff and I wanted to make a little thing for it. But yeah, just for fun, we can talk about how much it would take to actually get all these rewards. So assuming you can beat the boss, obviously you get around 10,000 of these trick or treats. So that's a pretty quick and easy calculation. That's 1,400 stamina used and 140 runs. Doesn't actually sound like a lot. And considering you can do the runs in about 2 to 2.5 minutes, that's about 7 hours grinding in there. So actually quite manageable when you break it down like that. However, if you can't beat the boss yet, it would require 200 runs and 2,000 stamina, obviously. And depending on whether you die or run out of time, it could be between 3 and 4 minutes total, because, you know, you always have to consider like loading screens and transitions and all of that. But if we say about 4 minutes for a total full loop, that's about 13.5 hours or so, which it also isn't so bad when you consider that the event does last for like a week, or a little more than a week. I think it was like maybe 8 days. But yeah, alright, I guess that's where I'm going to go ahead and end it. Make sure to leave any thoughts you have in the comments down below, and also like if you did enjoy. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.